Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Well, hello world. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know you can hear me okay and see me okay, because this is my first time streaming on a new stream service. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit because I'm just figuring it out. Great to see everyone. Thank you all. What an evening it's been. Looks like Marissa and them had a good day with the filming and stuff going on. So that is good. Little hiccup at the meet and greet. People want to do some crazy things sometimes, but that is just the cost of what we do. You guys can hear me, see, and hear. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. So we are going to talk about Idaho study session here. Yes, while you guys are coming in, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully this streaming service works out okay. We're going to give it a little bit of a go here. Yeah, so going back to Idaho, man, it has been so many days, and I really hoped that something would happen by Christmas. And although they are keeping everything close to the vest, I do believe that they will ultimately find the one who is responsible. Um, Let me guys show you something. This is it's sad, but um, uh, Toronto police say 18 girls charged with stabbing death of a 59-year-old man. And you know, people has been talking about, oh well, this person who did this must have been some strong man, who had to, you know, be some strong dude or whatever. But, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, if someone wants, if there's a will, there's a way, I guess, what you could say. Um, Let me see if I know how to pull something up on this thing. I understand. Um, but, it just goes to show you that
the 18th of December, just after midnight, emergency medical services staff were flagged down by a group of individuals who were reporting assault that had just occurred to an individual in and around the area of York and University Avenue. When emergency medical services staff commenced medical intervention, they realized that the victim had suffered what were described as stab wounds. As a result of that, that individual was transported to a nearby hospital and unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. As the investigation unfolded, it was learned very early on that the suspects involved in this were being described as 8 young females. And as a result of quick work by officers in 52 Division, these females were able to be located and apprehended and were subsequently brought to 52 Division, where they faced a charge and are facing a charge of second-degree murder in relation to the death of a now 59-year-old male who is a resident of Toronto. I cannot release his name at this point because we are still taking steps to notify members of his next of kin, but we will be releasing.
So 8 young females killed a 59-year-old man. Keep listening.
It at sometime in the future. These 8 females range in age from 13 to 16, 3 of them being 13, 3 of them being 14, and 2 of them being 16 years of age. They have already made their first appearance in court. They are remanded into custody and will be returning again on the 29th of December for their next court appearance. We're seeking the public's assistance in trying to gather as much evidence as possible. Obviously, we have done a video canvass as well as a canvass for witnesses in the area. What we can tell you factually right now is that we believe this group of 8 young ladies attended the area at least by 10:30 on the 17th of December. We have information to believe that this same group of 8 young women were involved in an altercation earlier before becoming involved in this altercation. So if anyone was in the area of York University, Front Street, in that general area sometime after 10 p.m. on the 17th into the 18th, we'd like to speak to you if in fact you may have had interaction with this group of 8. I think they would be easily identifiable because these 2 interactions involved what would be described as criminal behavior. So if you were a victim or had contact with these individuals, we'd like to hear from you. Subject to questions. So what we've gleaned so far is that these 8 individuals, from what we've gathered so far, is that they met each other through social media. They come from varying parts of the city. That is to say, they are not from one specific geographic location. We don't know how or why they met on that evening and why the destination was downtown Toronto. We don't know how long they've been acquainted together with each other, but I wouldn't describe them as a gang at this point. But what they are alleged to have occurred that evening would be consistent with what we traditionally call a swarming or swarming type behavior.
Swarming.
Are any of them known to the police?
3 of them have had prior contact with the Toronto with police services.
I mean, guys. I mean, these people are like 14 and 16 years old, and the 3 of them has already had contact with the police. I'm in my 40s, and the only thing I've ever had was a parking, like a speeding ticket. And these kids are literally having problems with the police. And they're not even 18. Murdering someone.
But aside from that, the other 5 have had no contact with police whatsoever.
Was the victim in this a homeless individual?
The 59-year-old victim is currently living in the shelter system, but had only been recently moving into the shelter system, so late fall he'd gotten there. He does have a very supportive family in the area, so I wouldn't necessarily call him homeless, maybe just recently on some hard luck. I can tell you that a number of weapons were secured as well, subject or incident to arrest. I won't get into what those weapons were, but we did secure a number of weapons in regards to these individuals. When you see the media release, you will see a link that is attached to that media release. That's for anyone that may have any video whatsoever. When you go to that link, you can upload any video that you might have, and that goes.
So, what do you guys think about this? Of course, people are getting younger and younger. It seems, and let me see if I know how to stop this video. Oh, no, wrong video. Maybe if I just do it like this. Okay, there I am. And of course, there was 8 young girls against a 59-year-old man. But does this in any way make you feel like, someone like even most likely statistically, we know that this is probably a man that did something like this to the 4 victims in Idaho. Oh, definitely a lack of parenting. Definitely a lack of parenting. I agree. Um, but if a couple or more girls, not girls, women, attacked, someone in like the Idaho fort, it could definitely change things, although there is no evidence of that at this point. Um, I do believe that they will, get the victim or the perpetrator rather sooner than later. Hopefully, that is. I was reading earlier today about. Let me show you. Well, I was studying about um, the uh, the Adam dude. Right here's Adam, and here's a picture of him here, and this is him here. Right. Guess how? Oh, you can't see. There we go. Okay, sorry, I'm working in. This is Adam, right? And this is Adam right here, being like really the tallest one there, at least one of the tallest. And I do want to say on the stream, uh, this is for entertainment purposes only, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and we are not a judge nor jury. We are just the true crime community who uh, post facts and talk about theories and all of that. So, with that being said, I want to say that everyone we speak about is innocent until proven guilty. Uh, with that being said, so this is Adam, and of course, as you know, Maddie and Kaylee, they said, what did you tell Adam? And, you know, she said, I told Adam everything. And I know that the parents don't seem to think that this is anything. But I still wonder. It still makes me wonder because, I mean, first of all, we don't tell our parents everything, particularly when we're in college. Maybe we don't tell our parents everything to begin with, no matter what our age is. And I am not saying that Adam is involved in any way, but Adam is a tall dude. He is 6'5", from what I understand. 6'5". Now that's a tall dude. That's a tall dude. Um, my child tells me, yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, some, sometimes, we're very open with our parents, but sometimes, there's things we'll probably take to the grave, right? 6'5", yes, and he's a very tall guy, and I just wonder. I told Adam everything. Kaylee, what did you tell Adam? I told him everything. And generally, everything means, there's a history of something. There's, it's just not one little incident. It's like I told him everything. And, a few hours later, you end up deceased. Now, I am not saying I want to be sure. I want to be because I actually don't think Adam has anything to do with this personally. I personally don't, in my personal opinion. But I wonder about who and what they are talking about. Um, was there some sort of affair going on? These are uh, young adults, and they still have a lot of growing up to do, and the hormones are raging and everything, and it these things probably happen in college, right? And now, Kaylee and Jack were together 5 years. That is a long-term relationship, especially for college students. They had just broken up a couple weeks, really, before the murders. And that makes me wonder, first of all, why did they break up? Did they break up because of the move? Did they break up because of some other reason? Um, she was leaving everything. Someone want to stop her in my eyes. I definitely think that I feel like this was a jealousy murder, in my opinion. I feel like there was someone that was so jealous of whatever reason, or envious, maybe, of they was really happy that, people were really happy that, Maddie was going on creating this good life, about ready to graduate, not Maddie, Kaylee, uh, ready to graduate and move on, go to a bigger city. Oh, thank you, Kelly. You're very sweet, honey. Thank you. And, something is just off with this. And I don't think that it is an accident that Kaylee came to that apartment that weekend. That weekend. She had a girls' night out with her BFF, Maddie, which I saw photos of Maddie and Kaylee in their little uniforms. It looked like Catholic school uniforms from when they were just little, and they really were more like sisters than they were friends. And I just really feel that it happens this weekend, the murders, or it's not going to happen. I think it was Austin, Promise. I think it was Austin. Yeah. Yeah. She was going to Austin. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffy. Yes, guys, if y'all haven't became a member and are able to, I would greatly appreciate it. It is a wonderful way to help out your favorite YouTuber, true crime YouTubers. Really appreciate it. Coming to Fruitland, Idaho. So, maybe Maddie, or I keep getting it mixed up. Kaylee, she was, uh, staying with their mom, until she was moving, but something happened. And, a lot of times I really was very suspect of the Jack that was with Kaylee and Maddie that night. I think a lot of people was. But now I wonder, was he there for some sort of protection? I think she was done with Jack D, and he didn't like the idea of her moving without him. I wonder if Jack left his phone at home, thus didn't answer, so the pings would place him there instead of. Possible, possible, but you can leave your phone at a place and you can put it like on a playlist or something like that, but they're going to be able to see uh, a a GPS in a vehicle, for instance. However, if you borrow someone's vehicle, that kind of throws things off. But if like you put it on a playlist or whatever, I'm sure that they're going to be able to see whether you hit pause or check something else out, check your email while the video's playing, or whatever like that. But they have his DNA and no match for killer. There you go. Um, I don't know. Now, but th- we don't, I mean, do we know that? Okay, how can I put this? Do we know that I haven't heard, let me know if I'm wrong on this. I haven't heard Idaho Moscow Police Department saying that Jack wasn't, that he wasn't any suspect or anything. The only thing that I have heard is that the parents didn't believe Jack was suspect. What do you guys think? Did Ethan and Xana? I don't think that they were targets. No. Mm. I personally don't think they were targets. Um, the Idaho massacre, my own term, is horrendous. These poor parents, I know. I thought about them a lot yesterday. A lot yesterday. Um, has the Moscow Police Department said that Jack, the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend, was no longer suspect? Justin, in this case, they don't know. The two Jacks went to high school together, and I think that he was there to keep an eye on them. Exactly, that's what I was saying, spread love, and let him know that they were on his way home, just like Joe said. I mean, it's possible. Yes, yeah. I mean, it could be that way. Um, to kind of tell them where they're going and when they're going. But I would think that the phones, if somebody said that, then the phone would have to be like they would show up in text messages with the police, the authorities. Just a girl says, no, they said the ruling out suspects one by one isn't something they were going to do publicly. Interesting. Interesting. Um, but they did say that in the beginning that the jack at the food truck, the driver that drove the girls home, and the girls downstairs were not suspect. You know what? I feel like they don't have a DNA match. As far as being like in CODIS or anything like that. Um, now, interestingly, like if you're on who has a 23andMe, or where you've shared your DNA to check your bloodline. I have. I don't know about you, but if you've done anything like that, you've given up your DNA. And a lot of young people have done that. A lot of older people have done that. And but they may not have their DNA, but maybe they can do it with familiar DNA. And hopefully kind of get a profile of who they're looking at that way as well. Hopefully they can do it that way. Or yes, or bingo, or someone in your family. Yep. They need everything, every single thing back from the lab and forensic. Have to have ATS crossed and dotted before the present grand jury for an arrest. It's definitely not just a DNA match. That is correct. That is correct. But I really do. I believe this is someone that is in the Moscow area, or someone on the outskirts of Moscow, to say the least. Hold on, I just got an update on something. Let me check this. So last night, I was. Did you guys see the Anon Harsh Reddit post? It was like pages long, right? And let me click that. I think I do it like this. Okay. And did anybody read it all? Because like I literally let my computer read it for me. So what he talks about, you don't go to Reddit, okay. Well, let's look at this and see what this says. 1 hour ago, Idaho murders latest victim's father agrees information, but says he believes killer will be found.
So trying the day of the crime. And then that expanded as we got more investigators to the area for assistance, and we started putting together teams. And one of our teams' sole job was to go through the King Road area, associated neighborhoods, and eventually the main thoroughfares in the city of Moscow, trying to identify video through our tips, through our leads, some of the evidence that came in. We start to identify patterns. And like we said earlier, we are confident that the occupant or occupants of that vehicle have information that's critical to this investigation. We also understand that even though there's sometimes a fascination with a particular case, some people simply don't see the news and may not know that we're looking for it. So if we get the word out there, hey, maybe your neighbor has one in the garage that they don't drive very often. Maybe there's one that's just not on the registration database. Let us know. So far, we have a list of approximately 22,000 registered white Hyundai Elantras that fit into our criteria that we're sorting through. That's an awful lot of information, but
Okay, let's talk about that Hyundai for a moment. So, um, I mean, how can they narrow this down to a specific model year? Uh, Now, even they don't even have a partial plate. Um, they must have a very good look at it to come up with a specific model year, which lets me know, in my opinion, that they have a lot more footage of this car. Now, the neighbor who has kind of talked publicly about the coverage that they showed. Now, she said you could just barely tell it was probably a white car. Now, could the FBI or one of them, make the picture better? I'm sure they could. But they don't even have a partial plate, a state, nothing like that. So they talk about patterns. And I think they have found a pattern of a white Hyundai Elantra in security footage that people have submitted photos or video, most likely video. They had to see they had to see this car in a pattern that night. Um, Doing unusual behavior in the time frame, the way maybe it went back and forth a couple times, may to the house or in the area. uh, so the neighbor down the street just said that it was a white car. So I believe that there had to been the pattern that night that lets them know that this car is most likely uh, involved. And they seem to have a really good uh, idea that this car is involved somehow. In our seventh week of trying to catch this killer, it's gone a lot long. I will never forget when I heard about this case. I was literally live talking about the Michael Monkey Vaughn, um, which obviously we have more answers about that case, but we still have not recovered little Michael Vaughn. But I was in a live, and this is when they had found out the house that they thought little Michael was or had been. And I was looking on the Idaho websites, and it had came across that 4 college students were dead. You remember that, Morgan? Yeah. And it was horrible. The 4 college students were dead, but nobody, you kind of thought it was like a school. You know what I mean? But you didn't think it was anything like this. But boy, were we ever wrong. Were we ever wrong? Remember that, Shannon? Yes. Um, Mogan's father, Ben Mogan, told the Spokesman Review on Saturday that he still has many questions about his daughter's murder. My heart goes out to him because I can't even begin to feel if you're a parent, it's your worst nightmare. And they have the worst nightmare plus unresolved plus so many more questions upon their questions that they would normally already have as just losing a child. So about his daughter's murder, he said he remains optimistic that the ongoing investigation will eventually lead to an arrest. Quote, from the very beginning, I've known that people don't get away with these things these days, end quote, he told the review. Quote, there's too many things that you can get caught up on, like DNA and videos everywhere. That isn't something that people get away with, that goes unsolved. And, it goes to that thing of, just a few years ago, there wasn't a bunch of cameras everywhere, right? Um, most of us that are watching this, we did not grow up with the internet, right? Um, the internet is relatively new in the scheme of things, and social media is extremely new in the scheme of things. Now, there's pluses and minuses with surveillance, right? Like it's good that with surveillance and all of this, that someone is less likely to get away with murder, right? But also we lose our privacy because of cameras everywhere, right? But there's also no expectation of privacy in public either. So, um, it's just one of those things that you give some and you take some, I guess. Um, so, he has a lot of faith in the DNA and the videos. So, so they're still on the hunt for the 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. And I've wondered this, and they've stood very firm about the Hyundai. So I'll say it right. I'm sorry. I say Hyundai. Hyundai. Um, that I want like a reporter to ask, do they know that it's a Hyundai, or do they know, or could it be like a Kia? Because they technically are the same cars with just a different badge. They use the same frames, just like GMC, Chevrolet, and Escalade. Cadillac does. Uh, Thank you so much, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you too. You are my first super chat on my new uh, streaming device here. So thank you. I appreciate it. Clap. Thank you, my love. Can y'all hear that? Because that's built into my new streaming service as well. And I'm trying to put my message board and I didn't have it fixed. So thank you, my love. Thank you, darling. Appreciate it. Yay. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. But like Kia, and so I've always wondered, I'm like, could it be a Kia? I mean, they're saying Hyundai, but is it possible? It's just a different badge, right? Love you too, my dear. Thank you. Appreciate you. Just a thought. So there are 22,000 vehicles that they're combing through. And just the independent, see if there's any new, 34 minutes. Um, everything we need to know about the 911 call. The 911 call was made at 11:58 a.m. on November 13th and originated from the phone from one of the two roommates who survived the attack. A dispatcher was told there was, quote, an unconscious individual. Authorities have since revealed that other friends were present at the house. When the 911 call was made after they are summoned by the roommates. The surviving roommates summoned friends to the residence because they believed one of the second floor victims had passed out and not woken up. Okay, guys, I want you to be honest here. Be honest, please. Now, authorities have said that the two downstairs, the surviving roommates, are not any people of interest. But be honest with me. Is it weird, strange, odd that two things happened? One, that they called their friends before they called 911. And two, they said that one appeared to be that they thought someone was passed out in the home. Whenever that crime scene was brutal, right? It was brutal. What am I missing? I mean, help me out here. How do we know they called their friends first? Because, I mean, it's all throughout the media, and we know that the friends, they called the friends first before they called 911 because the friends were there before 911. They ran over before, and not, they were talking to different, they were talking, the friends were talking to 911 on there. Little Mish, let me be second. Thank you for your hard work. Oh, thank you so much, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I honestly love you. Why is this thing not working? Mother's message board. I'm trying to get it to work. Thank you. Oh, honey. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me see your comments because I really want to see this. They must see the blood. I mean, no, I'm not saying that they have anything to do with it because police have said that they don't believe that they have anything to do with it. But I want to know. I think the story has been retold so many times, little by little, change everything. It's weird that the door was supposedly open at 8 a.m. Yes. Have you heard, where was that? Have you heard anything, the fact that Ethan was in the hallway? And if you want to look at Xana's mom interview with News Nation, she is going to be able to explain it. Spread love, explain the Ethan part or the reason they called their friends. I don't understand how they saw someone supposedly passed out, no blood. I mean, unless, I mean, I'm trying to think, would your mind play tricks on you? Would you not see blood? Or because I can't imagine. Interesting, Josie. If my roommate wasn't waking up, there was obviously blood, I would call 911. Yeah. it just makes me wonder, like, how could you, the first, come on, the first report from the coroner said they were in bed. Yeah. Mom said Ethan was outside the room. They said they know more than they say. They were not, that was not blood dripping outside. I mean, listen, I can tell you, Sonia, thank you so much. Yay. Thank you. Love you, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sonia says, that's why they don't really send out one call. I think they don't want to reveal something. Love you, Justin. Love you too, my dear. I mean, you can't help but see blood in something like that. It's just not, um, like, I understand, like, if they saw Ethan, he may have not got as many stab wounds as the others, but it just makes me wonder how they couldn't see that. Law enforcement said 2 on second floor and 2 on third. That's all. That's fact. Yes, that is true. Too many rumors at this point. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's, to me, it's not a rumor that, they went there to check because maybe they weren't answering their phone or whatever. And they went up, one of them went upstairs. So let's reenact this. We're the girls downstairs, right? We're the girls downstairs. We're texting. God, they're not waking up, right? Like, they're not waking up. So what would be the next thing we would do if we, couldn't hear, if we didn't know what was going on? Upstairs, they weren't answering us. So the next thing we would do, hold on, let me get my stream here fixed. The next thing we would do is we would go upstairs, right? We would go upstairs and we would say, why are y'all not answering the phone? What's up? And then we open the door and we see, we'll just say Ethan. Now, let's say he's laying on the floor, he's laying on the bed. It doesn't really matter in this scenario that we're talking about right now, that there's just blood, and there's a lot of it. The reason why they called 911 was because the door was locked. Okay. Can you send me that interview? Here, I'll drop my email. And I'll play it. So you're going to be able to see. Okay, no, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. Are you saying that the door was locked and then nobody could answer the door? Because if the door is locked and they thought somebody passed out, that could be possible. Hold on, let me look at this. What? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, where's the green? Maybe? Still not working? Okay. Screen. Don't show me this again. Okay. Here we go. I forget I have to put this thing up to show you guys again. All right. So on the 12th, I want to see that morning. Okay. The surviving roommates summoned friends up to the residence because they believed one of the second floor victims had passed out and not waking up. Friends arrive at the location. 11:45, Dakota Sparks leaves for work, not seeing or hearing anything. 11:58 a.m. 911 call from inside the residence on one of the surviving roommates' cell phone requesting aid for an unconscious person. Police arrive on scene like literally a minute later or less, probably. On the surviving roommate's cell phone requesting aid for okay. Police arrive on scene and find dog unharmed inside the residence. The dog was turned over to animal services and released to a responsible party. Hold on. Guys, if y'all don't know who Sleuthy Goosey is, you need to check her out. She's like amazing on Twitter. I love her to pieces. Okay. So let's go back to this report. And this was one of the first ones. Okay. This is from November 20th. Moscow, Idaho. Detectives are releasing that the morning of November 13th, the surviving roommates summoned friends to the residence because they believed one of the second floor victims had passed out and was not waking up. At 11:58 a.m., a 911 call requested aid for an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence on the surviving roommate's cell phone. Multiple people talked with the 911 dispatcher before a Moscow police officer arrived at the location. Officers entered the residence and found 4 victims. So maybe the door was locked. They knock on the door, nobody's answering, and that is the reason they thought someone was passed out, because that door was closed. That's the only thing it can be, other than you walking in the room and being like, oh, well, he's laying in the floor. I don't think they saw anyone at that point. Oh my God. Fluffy celebrates 9 months of membership. Fluffy. Fluffy, thank you so much. And guys, listen, if you can be a cool kid like us, join up the membership. Just saying, you want to be a cool kid like Fluffy. 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 Let's give Fluffy some cheers. We love Fluffy. Thank you, Fluffy. So, thank you, Cassie, so much. Send an email and I know cross. I saw that. Oh my God, Cassie, thank you. Let me tell you something. We're going to talk about Anon Harsh in a minute. So, the only way it can be, let me just finish reading this to make sure I'm. At the time of the investigation, detectives do not believe any individual at the residence when 911 believe any individual at the residence when 911 was called is involved in this crime. Rumors and speculation continue circulating about the ongoing investigation. Moscow Police Department cautions the public not rely on rumors and remains committing to keeping the public informed. Okay. Autopsies were conducted November 17th. What date is this? 20th. Okay. So it would have been, in my opinion, like if these doors were locked on the second floor, that they would have said, roommates in the first downstairs room, couldn't get a hold of anyone up in the second or third floor of the house, and knocked on their door and no answer, believing that someone may have passed out in the second floor. That way, you're not really hurting the investigation any. You're just saying that, they couldn't get a hold of anyone. They tried to check on someone on the second floor. The door was locked and they thought somebody was passed out. They already said it's one of the second floor roommates that was the unconscious person. See, I don't think this is a serial killer. I think he has what they call serial killer tendencies, but so yes. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Let's go back to this. Bam. All right. Y'all want to talk about Anon Harsh? Where do I start? Now, I will say about Anon Harsh. He is a character. Okay, someone sent that to me. Thank you so much. He is a character. Now, I will say that if he is not involved in this, then he is trying to make his 5 minutes of fame or 15 minutes or whatever you want to call it. And I don't think this is the correct thing to do, Anon, because he's saying crazy things. like, oh, I'm famous now because of this and stuff. And it makes you wonder what the hell he's in this for. Like, is he really trying to insert himself? I'm trying to find the. Give me a couple seconds and I'll try to pull it up. I want to find the Anon. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it here. He has created a YouTube channel and he is on TikTok and a bunch of other things as well. Where the hell is it? I'm trying to find where he did that rant a couple weeks ago. So because I want to talk to you guys about it because it's really crazy. Like it's really, really crazy. Crap. Give me 2 seconds. Maybe this is it. Okay, I found it. All right. So last night I had, oh my God, guys. Last night I had my computer read it to me, and it took probably a good 20 minutes to have it read it to me because of all the craziness, just literally craziness. Now, he's had a rough life, a really big rough life. There are some things that make me question him a lot more, but then sometimes I just think he's a doofus, respectfully, Anon, respectfully. Um, and I just feel like, he just likes getting people riled up. Now, I will say the things that he discussed, and I mean, look at this. And I'm scrolling this fast too, guys. So, yeah, all of this, right? He talks not so much about anyone in the house. He only talks about really himself and his drug escapades that he has done for basically his entire life. He does say that he brags about how intelligent he is. He's very proud of that. And that he didn't really have to study much in school, so he had a lot of time on his hands. And to me, he wants to be very Buddha like. And he's studied and read about the Buddha and walking until basically civilization ran out from his heart or something to that effect. And yeah, hold on. There's a few things that he says here, and let me see if I can fix this so we can read it. Let me find it here. He talks about how he went to work and that he could barely uh, barely work. Let me know if you can hear this.
Several days ago, when I thought I was over the sadness of losing those who only brought positive thoughts to me, when I went to check my mail, I saw the posting of their faces and started crying. I was listening to Fallen Soldiers by Cormega, Wu-Tang Represent, and starting think not only of the recent murders, but all the friends I lost and continued crying for hours.
So he's saying that he was crying for hours because of his neighbor's passing, and that he was listening to Fallen Soldiers and crying about for hours about his friends passing too. He'll talk more about it here.
Hours. I went to work 3 hours later, tears still pouring from my face, trying to stay calm for my work duties. I could barely talk, and our grill cook could tell something was up, but I didn't know how to verbalize the feeling of losing a friend almost every other year. A feeling where you can't focus on anything but the suffering of losing a loved one, the energy burning you in you like a fire causing cuts. I'm mainly a prep cook, to be lighting speed but sloppy. I remember almost cutting myself using the anger, sadness, and other emotions to propel my movements. Remembering the kindness of those now gone, and, in this case, who had such a bright, happy, and free future. Kaylee, Xana, and her boyfriend, those are the only three I remember, but I know all our Anzing were real as human beings. To lose them is such an incredulous lose. I hope the family members find comfort in grief and heal fully with time, positive prayers, and thoughts. And encourage them to try and spend their time on whatever activity brings them joy and or comfort, and, from my hippie roots, to try and spend time with nature, as it heals all wounds. While I don't normally support police, I understand them and do think there are some really well-intentioned and good ones in the force, as I have met a few. And in this case, I do support the homicide department and hope the perpetrator is found and justice is served. While I believe in freedom, there is a line you do not cross, and once you cross that line, it is time to move on to the next physical existence. I hope the family members and close relatives can find peace no matter what the outcome becomes. I have faced many near-death experiences. I've lived a reckless life, especially in my youth. I've done pretty much with I want my entire life. At the same time, I have always believed in compassion, morality, ahimsa, and being the best version of yourself. I have had a lot of struggles with insecurities, incredibly naive and optimistic, and extremely different and lots of times misunderstood.
Now, I will say this, that yes, that is true. Please use initials and not full names. We don't want to uh, directly accuse anybody anything related to this. It's not up for us to do. We're just pointing out what could be abnormalities to some. Now, going back to this. Now, they do, a lot of the profilers do believe that this person could be kind of like an outcast. Um, and, he says here that he's had a lot of struggles with insecurities and extremely different. And he knows that he's extremely different and a lot of times misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Sometimes when I think about those I lost, I ask myself, why not me? But I know that's stupid, and while I'm not really religious, I do believe in purpose and destiny. Being here, free, and alive today, despite many odds, I truly believe I have something to offer to the world, and I'm looking at what's happening globally, and it brings me to tears to see how much suffering sentient beings are chronically experiencing. I have a story to share, and I think it's one that can touch people in meaningful ways and raise awareness of a lot of the problems in the world that many people do not see. Hopefully, this will reach out those who can use, or those just curious, it and make positive, meaningful changes in this world.
Um, and he goes on and he talks about how to meditate the right way. cool, I guess. um, Sometimes silence is the best, sadly, and many friends have spoken out on social media. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I do believe he is extraordinarily different, which we all are in our own ways, and there's nothing wrong with being different, and being different doesn't make you a murderer or anything else. He does go and he does talk about how he went over to their house before. Let me see if I can find that. And it's very interesting how he says that he met them. Let me see. Talks about how many breaths you could take and all of that. Where is it at? He talks a lot about him tripping on drugs. And that's what kind of made me kind of question him, because I'm like, well, did he trip out on drugs one night? Where does he talk about going over there? I mean, it's literally 90% about himself. And he talks about the dealer on campus, how he used to go get drugs. Where is that? It's so freaking long, guys. It's crazy. Okay, here's how he talks about the night of the murders.
On the night of the murder, I'm sure there's some discrepancies. First, I got home a little late because I was talking to one of my coworkers after work. When I went home, it was pretty normal. I made some tea, did some drills, and I think played a game of LOL. I went to bed and heard nothing out of the ordinary. When the cop knocked on my door next day and asked if I heard anti-hang, I was like, no, nothing unusual, I didn't. Know there was a murder, so small deals, like a faint scream in the distance, one of my neighbors getting home, closing their car door, closing their front door, etc. were not on my mind. I noticed I was quoted as heard a screaming. This is not true. I heard a scream, faint and party, like to my half-asleep eyes.
So he said, I noticed I was quoted as heard a screaming. This is not true. I heard a scream, faint and party like. Like a party scream. There's different types of screams. Just like when you have a kid, there's different types of crying, right? Like a party scream is what he's saying, but he was saying it's where he was kind of half asleep.
Eyes. To be clear, there's probably at least 5 screams every Saturday. Even on dead nights, you'll probably hear at least someone making loud sounds at some point. Small detail, but in this situation, I think screaming and a scream and very different and small details matter like this, with all the internet sleuths and conspirators around. Some of you are wondering what stick juggling is, and I'd love to share. I'm at a point in my practice where I will start offering services, fire.
Okay, we don't give a shit about your stick juggling. I really want to find where he talks about where he went over that night. It just how he says he brought them a glass of wine over. Maybe it was in the very beginning. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
But first, I would like to send out love and empathy for the family of the victims. Unheard of in this town and absolutely horrendous. I can't say I have ever lost a family member, but in many parts of my life I had to grow, or survive, in harsh environments, and I have lost several close friends, and some I consider family. Many others are missing, or probably never to be seen again. At many points in my life, I was on my way to be one of them. Meditating on the murders and the suffering brings me to tears, sometimes daily. One day returning from work, I brought my neighbors some wine when they were having a small fire/party outside just to meet them. Although it was a short visit, I remember how beautiful, friendly, kind, and joyful they were. So happy it instantly brightened up my day. I remember going inside and having an inspired, long, and sick flow before stretching and drilling. Kaylee were the neighbors you wanted on Greek Row. Partying is expected. To imagine someone wanting to hurt them is beyond disbelief and so sick. Several days ago, when I thought I was over the sadness of losing those who only brought positive thoughts to me, when I went to check my mail, I saw the posting of their faces and started crying.
Okay. Now, so he says he went over there to meet them, and it was a joyful time of meeting them. Now, the thing is, for me, if you are so sad about it, crying for hours, going to work, he's crying because obviously of the neighbors, the Idaho 4 passing, his neighbors, he's met these people. And because of other friends dying, it seems like every other year is what he states. Then why is he doing these things, such as getting in a Hyundai car on his TikTok and kind of mocking the deaths? And to me, that is the sick part. Have y'all seen his? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find him on TikTok. I'm going to see if I can find him here on TikTok because okay. Share video. Oh. Screen. Okay. And like we have this. Okay, don't want the music. What is? Does anyone know Anon's username on TikTok? The neighbor of the fire juggler. Oh, I didn't even show you guys. God, I'm so used to this. Does anyone know what his name is on? I want to show you that one of him sharing while he's getting in a Hyundai. Like, to me, that was blasphemous almost. He was banned from TikTok? Are you serious, Cassie? Yeah, well, he was like I don't know, like a week or so ago. Chef Dizzy. Well, like I don't know, it's like a week ago. He was going allegedly to California for his birthday. And he was getting in a Hyundai car. And it was just like, I'm thinking, they're arresting some of these, internet sleuths or whatever. And I'm like, well, why are they not arresting this asshat for doing that? His account has been removed from TikTok. Wow. When was that? The pic that we're showing, this is when he did, it says blessed by Jesus, and then it's got like a cross, and then he did this with his hand. I don't know when. How did you cut your hand? People are weird. Everyone thinks is a blessing or a curse. You should have to get your hand to be blessed, bro. They lied to you. That's weird. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. Let's see here. Oh. I see you. What is his parents' username or on TikTok? You want to see his parents? Let's see where he gets it from. I mean, they're good people, it sounds like, but here it is. It doesn't seem like he was taken off TikTok to me. Let me find this. Okay, here it is. Wait, crap. Hold on, I gotta do it without the. But look at this. He's in the back of his freaking car. Can I make this bigger? Oh, I don't want that. Back to tab. Like, look. He's trying to show that he's in a Hyundai car. Look at this. Dang, he blocked me then. That's weird. Probably blocking me right now then. But he's in a road trip, an opportunity to work on freestyles, rap, road trip, get it. This was on December 17th. And watch him, he shuts the door. And watch him. Why is he doing this? To me, that's not an accident. I'm sorry, but to me, that's not an accident that he does that. Thank you, Cassie. She says, read comments in the photo I sent you under the photo. Yes, maybe an ego trip, Jesse, for sure. Did you send me? Where did you send that, Cassie? Um, and I put on there, are you seriously trolling? Yeah, clearly, and so many don't get what trolling is. I could not believe that because I was very shocked about that. But, he just does like some. Here he is with a bunch of money on the floor and his fire sticks and stuff with some salt lamp or something around him. And someone put Jeff Dahmer chef. It's like, what car is this? Hold on, I want to check something. Okay, the round vents like this. Brown bump. Okay, let's go back to that other. Let's check those other vents. Where was that at? Okay. Nope, that's that car. Yep, see, this is a different car, guys. Look. Look at this. Wait a minute. Look at the vents. See the vents in this car of this Hyundai? They're different. So he's been driving two different cars. He's been driving two different cars. Vents are totally different. Why is he in two different cars? Hold on, let me take a screenshot of this. Screenshot. I'll show it to you. Hold on. Let me do it in my Canva here. Let me see. Okay, there's that one. Now let's go to the other. That was 12/17. $12.18. Background. Share. Why is he doing this? All right. Share screen. All right. Here's the vent in the Hyundai, right? And here is the vent in another car. I took screenshots of them. Oh, wait, I'm not showing you guys yet. Sorry. I'm not used to this stream thing yet. See the difference? Okay, Cassie. Why is he in two different cars there? That shows you that he has access to at least 2 different cars, right? Checking an email for something. Okay, Cassie, I'm reading it. 1 second. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll get to that in a second. He's probably stole that footage like he stole the writing. I mean, he could be, Jesse. He could be. What? No, because he couldn't have sold that footage because he is driving in that car in another TikTok. He's literally driving in that car. I mean, it could be it. I bet you it definitely probably smells bad, Jesse. Oh my God. You know, my thing, I'm not saying he did it or anything like that, but it just shows you that he has options for cars, right? That's all. Uh, is he driving both cars? Maybe he stole one. Well, I know that he is driving. Which one is it? I know he's driving. Which one is he driving? Because he's in California driving one. Okay. Watch this. That's his chicken scratch. It's like his lyrics and stuff. And then he's got like some bull or something here. Hold on. Jeros. You know, I've tried most of it. I think it's like cooking stuff and supposed rap, but it looks to me like more like hieroglyphics. And then here he is. He's like, "Oh my God, it's the white Elantra. The killer is following me." That is blasphemous at best. Very much distasteful, Anon, if you are truly upset about. Oh, I forgot to. Hold on. This is where he goes. "Oh my God, it's the white Elantra. The killer is following me." It's distasteful at best. Hey, Alabama mom. Good to see you, honey. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. The timestamp for this one is it's 12/17. 12/17. You know, if you were, and it's a California plate. He was in California. It's kind of sort of like you're mocking someone. Bro, count your days they got you. They always say the killer, the enemy is always close. Too soon, they found the same make and model car in Eugene abandoned. I think I'm gonna say. So yeah. Very, very creepy. But yeah, he is driving in this car here. This is the one he's driving it in. He's like literally driving it in this one. See the right there? Can y'all see that? Yeah. Okay. There you go for that one. I don't know. So Cassie was wanting to show that post rather on. Sorry, I'm just learning how to use this streaming thing again. Let me exit out of some of this. Okay, now I can share this. People were talking about that cut on his hand or whatever. Okay, here's that. And it says it was just active less than an hour ago because someone shared he posted some kind of cut on his hand. I went back to see if there were any comments, but got this screen instead. Edited to add photos to say cut. And now TikTok and a now deleted TikTok by Anon Harsh. I have a question. Could he have cut his hand on a knife at work? Possible. Could he have cut his hand on something else? Possible. Morgan, I'm sorry if I missed a super chat. I don't know if I seen it or not. I apologize if I did. So she was just someone who noticed, this post. So if you guys ever see this person on or YouTube or Facebook, that's me. It's the redhead with kind of like the 90s bowl cut with golden earrings. That's me. You're welcome in advance. 4 stitches. Oh, I was thinking he just cut himself, but that is that stitches, or did he do that intentionally? It represents the apocalypse, the 4 horsemen. Huh. No, that's not makeup. Whose hand is this? This is Anon's. Anon Harsh. I got his mom's, I think it was it her TikTok? And she supposedly homeschooled. You can find him at Anon Harsh. It's weird. Just weird. Straight facts. Blessed by Jesus. I don't know. He does some weird things. He just does some weird things. I don't know. I think it looks intentional. It's the internet. Everybody's got their opinions, right? I thought he was more like Buddhist myself, but that's just me. But the thing that he's got, that he's driving 2 cars, to me, is interesting to me because I just noticed that he definitely. One second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's weird who drives two cars. I mean, I drive two cars, but you know, one's a Hyundai, and he's weird. But it doesn't make him a killer. It just doesn't. I don't know, guys. I think they probably already have someone of interest. I think they've probably had someone of interest for kind of quite a while, but they've got to know who. Hold on, am I doing this right? Why is it doing this? Bear with me. Okay, there we go. Maybe not. Idaho responds to the question about killer's whereabouts. Some people believe that
The county coroner called and told her 17-year-old daughter graphic details from the autopsy over the phone.
She asked, "Are you sure you want to know this?" And my daughter, thinking that she did for whatever reason, said yes, and she proceeded to tell her.
And you haven't spoken to the coroner?
No.
Are you confident the police are going to solve this crime?
I have to be.
I wonder if that's the Idaho Murders Live. Is that a new interview? Does anyone know? God, go down. Justin, I'm saying the video of him, you don't know that it's actually him that was in the video. Well, there's two videos of him driving it, and there's one video of him sitting in it. And this is the thing for me. Even if he didn't own two cars, why is he taunting these people? That's the thing. Why is he taunting someone that he literally said that cried for hours? That's my thing. We don't have the means to find out if he's guilty or not. We're not the FBI or the police or anything, but to me it's very weird that you're showing this is a white Hyundai in front of me, look, it's the killer, and then you're showing a video of a Hyundai with your stuff packed in the back, and he drove to California in that car because he did multiple videos of it. And then he also takes some things down too, which is very weird. It's just not nice at the best. No one covered. Come on, pop up. No one covered the 4 people that were found further up north that were literally, I guess they said they were almost cut in half. Pearl, where's that at? I haven't heard about it. Where is he now? Well, he was in California the last time I heard. Um, I don't think the Hyundai was white that he was in. Four men were murdered in Oklahoma too. It went unnoticed. C Star, I actually did a video on them, where they found their body parts right there under. Yeah, the he is we're referring to is Anon Harsh. Why are all cars white? The okay men circumstances are yeah, the Oklahoma men are completely different circumstances. Now, if that's what you're talking about the Oklahoma for, it's completely different. They pretty much had a suspect from the beginning. Now, if you're talking about another 4 that I'm not talking about, that I don't know about, then I don't know. Believe only he does damage. It's I don't know. I just hope that they find something quick. But the thing is like, if they have a suspect almost from the beginning, it, the story I did this morning with the little boy Blue and his sister, that is one of the worst stories I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it screwed with my head. Like seeing that little picture of that little girl in the hospital and the burns that was on her, like I can't even, guys. A lot of times it's the guy that doesn't look sus at first glance. The thing with Anon, like he is so interesting. I will say that you don't know whether he's just smack out weird or if he's a killer. You know what I mean? Free Spirit, yes, they talked about him twice. Yes. They Anon said the last time that the police came by, he wasn't home. That is true. He said that with his own words, Alabama. Mom. He certainly did. What is it? My word. All right, guys, I don't know. It's craziness. It's craziness. Like, I literally obsess over this case. Because I really believe at the end of the day that it's usually the most simple answer. In all true crime, it's usually the most common person that would do it, right? How do I get rid of this thing? I don't know where in California. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, bingo. Yep. We do need answers. I mean, I think it's hard to know what happened at that party. Did something happen at that party? Did something happen? It could be something as, like a road rage. They went to Jack in the Box or whatever, and there was a road rage accident, thing that went on, and they thought it was over. But to me, I think someone planned this. I think, in my opinion, it was somebody that weekend had to do something because Kaylee was there. She had just gotten a car. I believe that this case will go cold if the chief doesn't stop with, what did that comment say? With his ego, this needs to be turned over to the feds. Allow them to run the show. I mean, to be honest with you, like a lot of people are being really, like, I think that they're being so secretive about this case that if they could give us a little bit more, just a little bit more, it might help jar people's memory a little bit. It might give people a little bit more to work with. Nobody's saying, give us, DNA and everything like that, but I think it might jog the public's mind a little bit more. I don't know. I keep hitting this. You don't think they have it to give? I mean, literally, they are saying that they have a lot more than we know. I hope they're right. At this point, neither they will announce arrest soon or they will just slip under the rug. The Moscow lead detective is a rookie. That was there was a lot going on the other night on Twitter about the Moscow homicide detective that he's been on the job for 2 years. It cannot be someone very close to them or they would be already arrested. A lot of people think that. See, I don't personally think that way. I don't personally think that way. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see this monster's face. I can't wait to see this monster's face. What was that comment? Whenever whatever was going on, they were calling Jack to fix it, and he didn't answer. You know, this is the thing. People's like, well, that's the way she was. She called Jack all the time, over and over and over and over again. And I get it. Some people do that. Some people call over and over and over. However, why was Maddie calling over and over again as well? Why would she, was there something that was dire that needed to be said? This was very early in the morning, right? Very early in the morning. And another thing that kind of makes me wonder is why aren't the families united on all of the families are not united for some reason. And you would think they would all be united going in this together, but they're not. They're just not. This has to be a stranger. I seriously get Bundy vibes. It's not. Nobody knows except about 100 people involved or investigating. Everyone else is talking out there behind. You're probably right. But a lot of people think that a lot of the cops are talking out of their behind, you know. Justin, what did it say? Justin, you have to ask yourself, who is going to know that she was in town, that nobody else is going to be able to show up at that house? And that's why I said that I think it's the two J's. I think it's somebody in her, definitely in her orbit. But here's the thing. Hell, look how many people was in that house. Right? I don't agree with that comment. I think it could be some of those. I do think and feel in my heart it's someone they were acquainted with for sure. Absolutely. To me, this has to be someone that had feeling. They felt betrayed. They felt wronged. ICU and I were taking a class right now about profiling, and it's not about specifically profiling, but it's a really cool class we were invited to. And it's interesting to see the way people's minds work, you know. It's very interesting. And what I do know is whoever did this, there was a passion, there was a feeling of something. that they felt wronged or hurt or jealous. That is exactly right, Max. This is not a spat between friends. This is messing with some bad and getting, like, they felt wronged or something here for sure. This goes to a deep passion. This can only be a jealousy, in my opinion. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. I'm obsessed too. It's just getting so frustrating with all the misinformation and rumors that have been debunked constantly going around by people in chats and even some. I get so aggravated. I know. I know. Listen, if somebody says that this person did it or this person did it, click off like immediately, please. Because nobody, if we are web sleuths, none of us can tell you that any of them did it because we don't have the data in front of us. We're working with the facts that they have given us and the facts that we have learned, but we don't have data, uh, DNA data, anything like that in front of us. We just don't have it in front of us. We can be suspect of someone's behavior, of their criminal history, of things that they have recorded, talked about, done, all of that. But I think we all have our number one suspect. Some of us do, but again, we can keep that within ourselves, but we don't have to like blast it to, especially if you're a creator. I don't want to say like this person did something when I don't know. I don't know them from Adam, I only know them from this case. So the girlfriend calling over and over again is the most annoying type of girlfriend you can. Well, I don't know about that, Rich Buddy, but I think maybe she wanted to, maybe she was scared. Maybe she was mad. Maybe she wanted to get a message to him. But, when Maddie or when Kaylee and Maddie were both calling, let me show you this. Hold on a minute. I don't think this is a coincidence, in my opinion. I don't think this is a coincidence. And I'll tell you why. All right. Look at this. I just don't think this is a coincidence. And to me, it's not about whether, and this is to not say that anyone did this, but what I am saying is, okay, look. Two a.m. They leave the schedule, or that's the end of the party. 2:26. We know this for a fact. 2:26 a.m. Kaylee's first call to Jack D. Between 2:26 and 2:44. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 calls. Okay. 18 minutes. That's 18 minutes. All right. Maddie calls between 2:44 and between 2:44 and 2:50. Maddie calls. She calls at 2:44 and about 2:48, 2:49. We'll say that. 2:52, Maddie's third call to Jack D. 2:52, again, Kaylee's seventh and final call to Jack D. Y'all are not seeing this, and I am bitching myself out right now, and y'all didn't see it because I'm just learning how to use this, and I just realized it, and I was like, they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, we'll start over, class. 2:26, Kaylee's first call to Jack D. 2:26. Between 2:26 and 2:44, 18 minutes. She calls 6 times in 18 minutes. Right? So she calls about roughly every 3 minutes. We'll say every 3 minutes. Okay? 2:52. Okay. Well, let's read this. At 2:50, it's the plane cars, the officers with the 3 males in the parking lot. 2:52. While the police are out there on Banfield, Maddie and Kaylee are Maddie's giving her third final call to Jack D. Kaylee's giving her 7th final call to Jack D. Between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. is the estimated death from the coroner. Now think about this, guys. Think about this. 7 minutes later, they can all be dead. It's possible that they are dead as early as 7 minutes later. Why are you calling Jack D a total of 10 times a total between the two of you, 7 and 3? The last phone call, between the last phone call and the maximum amount it can be, according to the coroner, is it can be as early as 8 minutes. I think it's 8 minutes. Let me make sure that. Yeah, 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, they can be dead from that last phone call. Do you think they were sleeping in 8 minutes from that last phone call? I don't think so. My opinion. I don't believe that. My opinion. I don't think they just stopped calling, put the phone down, and went to sleep in that 8 minutes. My opinion. It is, Sonia. It really is. Now, and the maximum amount of time is an hour and 8 minutes from the last phone call that they will be dead. Tracy, do you mean no report taken from the Banfield? There was no report taken from that one, if that's what you mean. So for anywhere from 8 minutes to an hour and 8 minutes maximum, everybody in that house will be dead. Now they are saying that the crime took place between 3 and 4 a.m. No, it's a pattern they have. White sedan 345 backtrack murders happened at 3:30. Now, why do you want to get a hold of Jack D? You're calling him a combined total of 10 times, and within an hour, you're going to be dead. Maximum. Maximum. Not everyone in that house. 4 out of 6 girls. Yes. I have blundered, said stupid. Hubby storms off in the car, and I blew up his phone trying to apologize. That was 25 years ago. That stuff doesn't happen anymore. Justin, but I don't know if it's going to be the girls or Jack D was setting up an alibi for himself. Well, this is the thing. I'm not saying Jack is involved. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I mean, they could be worried. She could have been afraid. They could have wanted to tell Jack something important to hopefully maybe have someone calm down. Something was wrong. Yes, I've heard the video where you can hear the scream. Yeah. Listen, this is my thing. I don't, in my opinion, not all of the 4 was asleep. I don't believe all 4 of them was asleep. You know how a lot of us are. We lay in our bed, right? Lights are off. Texting, right? Maybe our backs toward the wall or whatever. Maybe we're dozing in and out. We all do it, right? Every one of us. And they were startled. That's right. Lights off doesn't mean you're sleeping. Listening to YouTube, which I'm sure there's 900 some in here right now I'm sure some of you are in your bed right now on your phone, right? What time was the first call? The first call was at 2:26. 2:26. Now, this is my thing. I am, exactly. Exactly. Half of the time, if I'm on my phone, I'm in my bloomers in the bed, laying down. Just kidding. Okay. So, now this is my thing. Now, we have to remember Jack and Kaylee broke up just a couple weeks prior to the murders. Has anyone heard why they broke up? We don't know for sure. I wish law enforcement would clear up the phone call. I guarantee me and my friends have done the exact same thing when drunk and yes, passed out because we were drunk. Absolutely. Who hasn't made calls, multiple calls, and one on top of the other, one on top of the other? But to me, you can make multiple calls and it's nothing. It's nothing. Everybody does it every day. But when you make multiple calls at 3 in the morning and then as early as 8 minutes later to a maximum of an hour and 8 minutes later, your 4 of you are dead in the house, that's different, obviously. So that's why we have to put that in perspective like that. So Flo Mama says, wanted her space. I'm wondering if she wanted. Why is this thing not popping up? Wanted to test the waters, or maybe she had another love interest. Possibly. Very possible. But this is the other thing. Why are two of you calling your ex at this time of the morning? He's your ex. You share a dog, yeah. But why are you talking to your ex this early of the morning and then minutes later you end up dead? Hmm? It's weird. Not sure if JD or someone. I wonder if the parents really wanted them to be in a relationship, but Kaylee just wanted to move on. Not sure if it's JD or someone like the USB college killer Elliot Rodger in 2014. It could be an ex. It could be someone, she had a secret affair with, maybe, or, they kind of dated on and off a little bit. It could be a, someone who had, you know, feelings for her. They told her, hey, you know what? I have feelings for you. And then they rejected, Kaylee rejected them. And that creates, you know, I think so. Love triangle. I feel like there's possibly a love triangle. Sonia, thank you so much, my dear, for my computer's running really slow. Um, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're just gonna have to see, guys. I don't know, but I just don't think it's an accident. You're calling your ex. This is the thing. Why do you call your ex over and over and over and over again? That is something you call your boyfriend over and over and over again. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me. Something is bothering her because she was scared. Were they still close friends? I mean, this is the thing. If you're with someone 5 years and you've just been broken up a couple weeks, you need that time apart, in my opinion, before you can get rid of those feelings to just be friends. Spread love, I wonder that myself. Sandy says, I've called an ex over and over and over again. Tell us about it, Sandy. Just kidding. Haven't we all? But this is the thing. Have you called an ex over and over? That's going to be my new move. It's going to be my new move. Tell us about it. Come on, tell us. Tell us about it, Sandy. I just created my new move. None of y'all copy it either. Okay, Jessica, I'll read your email. Tell us how you're feeling. We're going to interview you, Sandy. I'm not picking on you, Sandy. I'm just kidding. Sometimes you just come up with something, I appreciate it, actually. But this is the thing. You can't. We've all called our ex. I get that. But you don't call your ex, yes, like Sally, Jesse, Raphael. You don't call your ex over and over and over, and then your friend calls them 3 times while you're calling them, and then anywhere from 8 minutes to an hour and 8 minutes, you end up dead, both of you, plus 2 more. Yeah. Tell me about it, stud. That's funny. That's funny as crap. Maybe it was about the dog. Okay, what about the dog? This is the thing. I don't know this, but I feel like between those phone calls, Maddie or Kaylee, most likely Kaylee, was texting. Pick up the phone, mother trucker, or pick up, this is very important, or WTF, why are you not picking up my call? Or, Maddie saying, what the F? Why are you not answering? Pick up, it's important, or something, right? And I think the police only know about that. Do you think it could have been a cry for help that they both called him multiple times because he would answer their call because they wanted his help to be out of the situation, out of a bad situation? Yeah. Okay. Okay, what do you call an ex for? Because you need something, you want something, or you're sharing something. They were drunk, but exactly, Carla. And I don't think they were calling for a booty call because they were both calling them. Tell them off. You call your ex because you still have feelings for them. Yeah, but you don't call them like that and then literally end up dead within minutes. No, I'm not doing call-ins right now. He lives closest and they were scared. A lot of people thinks they were scared. Okay. So Jack and Adam were roommates. They were roommates, right? Jack, Adam were roommates. Kaylee, and Maddie were walking previous that evening and said, "What did you tell Adam?" I told Adam everything. Adam is roommates. Okay. What if, hold on. Okay, hold on. I got to build this. Right now. Okay, we're going to do this together. I'm building a theory here. Follow me. All right. All right. We got Haley. Oh, I gotta shit. I always forget to share it. Okay, we got Kaylee. Right. Let's build this. Let's try like this. We got Kaylee. And we got oh crap. And then we got Maddie. Okay. All right, now help me out here. Who was the other Jack? The other Jack. Let's talk about this. When they were walking and they said, I told Adam everything. Did that guy, he said, what did he say? Adam's going to get you or something like that, or someone's going to get you. Help me out here. Help me out here. When he was talking, right before he, or right after, before he says, she says, someone's going to get you or something. Okay. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay. We got Kaylee and Maddie. All right. I need a line. Okay. I'm not very good at this. Kaylee. Oh. All right. I told Adam everything. Okay. Work with me here. I told Adam everything. Maddie and Adam. Okay. Now we have to remember, because this is just a theory. This is, and a theory is not a fact. I want to be very clear on this. Kaylee is the ex of Jack. Okay. Okay. Right. Now, let me go back so I can see you guys. Call Adam and tell him we need an interview. Yeah, right. They won't do an interview right now. He said, what time do you know Maddie messed up? How do you know Maddie messed up? What do you mean Maddie messed up? I think the interview room has it. All right. Now, this is my theory. Okay. I told Adam everything. Kaylee is the ex. Hold on. Wait a minute. No, let me see here. Jack, Kaylee, ex. Okay. Now we're going to do Adam. Uh, we're going to do it here. Okay. Line. We're going to work out our theory here. Line. Line. Okay. Roommates. Friends. Right? They are roommates and they are friends. It's not a theory you're posing. It's called. Oh yeah, it's a hypothesis. Yeah, true. Okay. Now, Kaylee is leaving town. She's young. She's leaving town. Kaylee leaving town. Right? She feels like she's got nothing to lose. She's the world is her oyster. The world is her oyster, right? She could be a little bit mad at Jack. What if Kaylee knew something Kaylee's leaving town. She was holding something back because she was dating Jack. But now that her and Jack was no longer, maybe she wanted, she was maybe a little bit pissed off at Jack, or she just she didn't have to, keep it hid anymore. And Jack and Adam are roommates, they're friends, but one of them has been betraying the other, one way or the other. Is like, let's say, Jack was rumored to sleep with Adam's girlfriend, or that Jack, maybe the reason Kaylee broke up with Jack was because, it wasn't out to too many people, but maybe he was cheating. I don't know. But something, I feel like, happened between Jack and Adam, and Kaylee knew. Kaylee knew, in my opinion. I'm going to have to work this. My brain goes straight to Jill. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Elle, I've worried, I've thought about the OnlyFan thing too, but to me, I would be more if that was. I don't think Jack or anybody would be upset that they was doing it enough for murder, but I feel like someone else may be more upset. Is that better? Okay. Can you hear me now? I don't know why it did that. That's weird. My sound just went. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. I'm stuck on that I told Jack everything. Because Maddie's like, what did you tell Adam? I told him everything. I need to go look at that. I think the interview room has it. I'll look at it tomorrow. Yeah, I think if we find the Elantra, we'll find the killer. I really believe that if we find the Elantra, we'll find the killer. I do believe that. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I wonder too, Rhonda. We all are wondering about all these people. I just pray. Yes, the interview. Thank you for dropping it. Thank you, Tracy. Adam is also friends with Jake, Maddie's boyfriend. See, I need to go down the rabbit hole with who all they dated and all that. Thank you, Eliza. Guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit it up. Hit it, hit it, hit it. I love you all. God bless each and every one of you. No, okay, I'll let you go. And have a safe drive home. Okay? Have a safe drive home. A thumbs up. Thank you for the $1.99. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Bye-bye. If I know how to end this thing, I don't know how. Might have stayed with me.